Welcome back to Krenkoscorner. Today's deck tech is on Gishath Sun's Avatar. We took a vote over on our TikTok, and that's down in the description below. And Gishath won by a landslide. So we are getting right into this deck today. It is definitely a Jurassic Park style deck. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of dinosaurs and they all want to play. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play. It's aggressive. I prefer Gishath over Zakama because of Gishath's ability to give me dinosaurs for free. And there's only very few creatures in this deck that aren't dinosaurs, and they have their purposes. Zakama I use more as a utility creature, plus I'm getting him for free most of the time with Gishath's ability. He uses his abilities to kind of handle some problems. So let's get right into the deck. Gishath Sun's Avatar, of course, is a 7/6 legendary dinosaur avatar for 5 red, green, and a white. He has Trample, Vigilance, and Haste. And whenever Gishath Sun's Avatar deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creature cards from among them onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Now, we don't have a ton of instant sorceries, enchantments, etc. in the deck. And there are now no planeswalkers in this deck. After doing some revisions, I took out the only planeswalker in there and found some more aggressive creatures to put in. So the percentages of being able to get several creatures is very high. In fact, I've dropped 7 on this before. So let's get into the deck, and I'm already thinking about, what kind of stuff I can do. So let's get right into the deck. Starting off with the artifacts, we have Selesnya Signet, of course, 1 to get us 2 mana. Selesnya Cluestone, being able to have the mana as well as drawing a card. Same with Gruul Cluestone. Lifecrafter's Bestiary, of course, we're using this. Speaking of our upkeep, the Scry 1. We're doing this just to kind of control what's going on top of our library, and if we can set up at least 1 creature all the time with Gishath's ability, this is going to trigger well. And then whenever we cast a creature spell, we get that green mana. If we pay that green mana, we get to draw a card. So we've got some ability to play some shenanigans. Trailblazer's Boots. Equipped creature has non-basic landwalk. This is really easy to get going. Put this on Gishath, and now you're guaranteeing your ability is going to go because you have non-basic landwalk. I don't play against people who don't have non-basic lands. I mean, that just doesn't happen. So it happens with this getting through. Belby's Portal. If you're not playing Belby's Portal and you're playing a deck that's like straight creatures like this, pay 3, tap, cruise a creature card from your hand right into play. So I can get Zakama for 3 mana. I can get Galta for 3 mana. I mean, there's just some really dumb abilities with this. Yes, it costs 5 to get out, but you'd be surprised how fast you can get there. Vanquisher's Banner. I know this has gone up in value quite a bit. Choose creature type. Creatures control get +1/+1. This buffs all of our dinosaurs, and whenever we cast that creature spell, we draw a card. So just having to get the cast trigger go off, we did the draw. And of course, when we're having red in here, we want to make sure we have some draw engines. So those are the artifacts. Let's get into the enchantments. Come on, camera. Asceticism. Creatures control can't be target spells or abilities your opponents control. So basically your creatures all have hexproof. And then you have the ability to regenerate target creature. And you can do this multiple times if you need to. So great card in the deck. Descendant's Path, being able to, beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, it shares a creature type with the other creature you control. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, put that card on the bottom of your library. I think this card is great. You're almost guaranteeing to get the dinosaur. Sorry, this camera's doing some weird stuff right now. Put it on the bottom of your library. You're shuffling through your deck. There's stuff you might not need, or you're getting a guaranteed dinosaur. So, amazing. And Primal Rage for 2, and all creatures you control gain trample. Perfect. That's what we want on our dinosaurs, guaranteed. Because not all of them do have trample built in, so we want to give them all that. Getting into our sorceries, Migration Path. Search the library for the 2 basic land cards from the battlefield tapped. So if we're short on 1 color or 2 colors even, maybe, we've gotten off the beaten path with our colors. Migration Path gets us back on place with getting the colors we need, or if we can cycle it if we need to. Explosive Vegetation. Search the library for the 2 basic lands, put them battlefield tap, shuffle your library. It's basically the same card as this, but without cycling. So, it's still an amazing card. Blasphemous Act. Why would I not put this in here? There's so many reasons this is great, because I'm going to have enough dinosaurs to make this be able to go off for 1 red mana. 3 training damage to each creature. Now, this is generally going to board wipe most problems, but it also is going to trigger enrage abilities, because once they're dealt damage, they'll enrage, and there's a lot of enrage abilities in here that even though those creatures will die, other triggers will go into effect, because once they're dealt damage, it's a whole thing. So it can really help in the dinosaur deck. Here we go. Thunderherd Migration. Be able to cast Thunderherd by just revealing dinosaur, paying 1, and then get a basic land put on the battlefield tapped. They know we're paying dinosaurs, there's no surprise. Might as well show them what we got. Cultivate, again, get some mana fixing we need in our deck. And Explore, being able to draw a card and play an additional land each turn, or this turn rather. This is amazing in the deck. It just helps you get a little bit further ahead. In green, that's always a plus. And then we've got Beast Within. Kind of goes without saying, right? Beast Within is amazing, and you take care of something problem. Maybe you need to destroy one of your stuff to create a green beast. So it's definitely an excellent card in the deck. Then we have, of course, Naya Charm. Sorry about that. And deal 3 damage to a creature, basically lightning bolt somebody. Turn a card from a graveyard to its owner's hand, or tap all creatures target player controls. So we have some defensive abilities we can use with this, or use it to get some of our dinosaurs back, or just lightning bolt something. And that could be ours too. We can use this to start the enrage ability. Orem Thunder with the kicker cost, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and then deal damage equal to that CMC to target creature. So that helps shut down some problems. Chroma's Will we just recently added because, you know, if you control a commander as you cast this, you'll get both. So creature control gain flying, vigilance, double strike, lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors to end of turn. So it's getting in the game, period. I mean, double strike and everything else, yeah, it's game over. Swords of Plowshares, exile that problem creature and gain life. Path to Exile, get them out of the game, and then they can have a basic land, but we've gotten rid of a problem. Getting into our dinosaurs, which is the meat of the deck, big chunk right here. We get Zatalpa, one of the elder dinosaurs. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. I mean, really, like, what else do we need for 8 mana? There he is, Big Daddy Zakama, Primal Calamity. Reach, trample, vigilance, be able to lightning bolt, destroy an artifact or enchantment, or gain life if we need to. Specifically, I use this a lot for destroying target artifacts or enchantments, dealing with things like Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe, blowing up Soul Rings. When it enters battlefield, if I cast it, I can untap all lands. So if I do truly cast it, I get to untap my lands. But if I don't, like, I'm still gaining a lot from this. And Azrokan, yep, Azrokan Seeker. Okay, he is just really here for ramp and sacrificing him to turn a dinosaur from a graveyard to her hand. So it gives us any color we want, gives us the mana fixing we want for a 2/3 body, and then we're going to sacrifice him to get a dinosaur back. And they will be whatever we want. Titanoth Rex, this is one of the Godzilla cards technically. You know, trample, cycling, put a trample counter another target creature. So if we don't have our enchantment out that gives trample, we might just cycle this card out instead of having 11/11. It just depends on what's going on with the game, but it is amazing. Drover of the Mighty, 1/1 for 2. It gets +2/+2 as long as you have dinosaurs. So it is a 3/3 body, but generally using this for the mana ramp and trying to stick to the theme of dinosaurs rather than using something else. Annoyed Altasaur, I put this in recently. Reach, trample, 6/5 for 7. I took out something else that was kind of a utility card, but this was better because we can cascade this and then get a cascade trigger and get another dinosaur for free. There it is, Tali, Primal Storm. It's amazing. I think this is personally my favorite of the elder dinosaurs. 6/6 for 6. Ari to me is a great value. May not have any other abilities like trample or anything, but when it attacks, exile top card of each player's library and cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying the mana cost. I've had this go off and steal some of the absolute best things from people. I've stolen enchantments. I've stolen big nasty creatures and just being like, cool, these are mine now, thanks. It is too good not to use every single turn. And make sure you can find a way to. Goring Ceratops. Double strike, can attack other creature can write double strike to end of turn. So giving Gishath the double strike and then being able to trigger 14 on top. So that's just ridiculous. Silverclad for Rosodons, 8/5 for 7. He's got that rage ability, so if he's dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent. So what I'm generally going to do is I'm going to use one of my other abilities to enrage this guy. Maybe I'll lightning bolt myself so it doesn't kill him, and then each opponent sacrifices a permanent. So 4-player game, they're all losing permanents. I'm getting best value out of this. Forerunner of the Empire, being able to search for a dinosaur card and then put that on top of it. Then whenever a dinosaur enters battle from your control, you may have Forerunner deal 1 damage to each creature. So we're using this for a lot of things. When it ETBs, we're going to give 2 to our dinosaur, reveal it, and put on top of it. Then if we can trigger the Gishath, we're guaranteeing a dinosaur that we really want anyway. And then if we do get a bunch of triggers for, like, say, 14 of them, we're going to do 14 damage to each creature. So it is a lot of stuff we can do with this. Shifting Ceratops, 5/4 for 4. It can't be countered. It's protection from blue, which is what we want. We don't want blue players having fun. And then it gains a choice of Reach, Trample, or Haste till end of turn for green. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Suncrowned Hunters has the Enraged ability. Whenever it's dealt damage, it deals 3 damage to target opponent. So ping ourselves, Lightning Bolt them. So it's amazing. Thundering Spineback. I thought about taking this out because it's more kind of a limited card, but if I've got mana and I can't do anything with it, I do want to be able to create extra tokens with Trample, but also giving the buff of +1/+1 is just, it's enough sometimes to do a little extra. Sky Terror, 2/2 for 2, Flying and Menace. This is specifically in here, not just because it's a dinosaur, but it's 2/2 for 2 with great value, flying. We need some protection in the air just in case, and Menace is always great. Raptor Hatchling, a 1/1 for 2. Yeah, he's got Enraged, so we're getting a dinosaur from this. We're going to kill our own Raptor Hatchling, and we're going to get a bigger dinosaur. Yadaro, I added him recently as well, because he's that 8/8 with Trample and Haste. He's already kind of scary as it is, but being able to cycle him and kind of basically go get him again, like he can pay for himself, he's just big and scary. Belligerent Brontodon, yeah, a lot of the dinosaurs have the, you know, the bigger toughness, so we will use this occasionally to use that as our advantage and win that way, because they're going to assign the damage based on our toughness. Runic Armosaur, whenever they activate an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you draw a card. They're going to do this. That's going to happen, so we are going to draw cards. Kinjali's Collar. Dinosaurs cost 1 less to cast. We want to reduce that cost if we can at any time. Wayward Swordtooth. This is in there specifically so we can play the additional land on each of our turns, and we need to have the City's Blessing, which we'll be able to get there pretty easily. But even if we don't, and it just basically sits there, it's basically sitting there almost like an enchantment, being able to play that additional land. Taurian Mauler. I thought about taking this out, but being a shapeshifter allows it to become that creature type. And whenever opponent casts a spell, I can put a 1/1 counter on Taurian Mauler. So they cast a spell, every opponent, doesn't matter. By the time this comes around one more time, it's up to a 5/5 pretty quickly, easily. And then it's a dinosaur, so it's going to get all the bonuses too. Burning Sun's Avatar. 3 damage to target opponent, 3 damage up to 1 target creature. So 2 lightning bolts on it at once, and that's worth it for 6 mana. Knight of the Stampede, again, now we're reducing dinosaur spells by 2, so combine those 2 together, reducing dinosaurs by 3. Yeah, you almost paying nothing for them. Trapjaw Tyrant, yeah, exile target creature and point controls until it leaves the battlefield if you enrage it. Ping this guy a couple times and you're just exiling a bunch of crap. Ranging Raptors, search your library for basic land. So this was actually recently added because I can just ping myself and then go get a land. So I'll just do 1 little damage to myself and then go get lands. Needletooth Raptor, it gets enraged and it deals 5 damage to target creature and opponent controls. So even if this dies and I have the ability to bring it back, you know, I'm pinging everybody. Yep. Territorial Hammer Skull attacks, tap target creature and opponent controls. So maybe we can shut down one of their nasty blockers, you know, at least slow it down for a bit. Charging Monstrosaur, Trample, and Haste on a 5/5 for 5. Plus, look at that art. That guy is not doing so good. Crested Herd Caller. Trample, pretty simple right there, but I get another dinosaur for free, so I'm getting 2 3/3s, both with Trample for 5 mana. Thrashing Brontodon. This is mainly used as defensive because I'm spending 1 and I can sacrifice him, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and I've got ways to bring him back if I need to. So again, I want to take care of those problem enchantments that we always go against in decks. Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe, Dictative Erebos specifically. Knockout artifacts are problems. This helps. Kinjali Sunwing, because it's kind of like playing blue without playing blue. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. They are going to want to deal with this. They will ignore other dinosaurs on the field to deal with Kinjali Sunwing. Bellowing Aegisaur. He is enraged, so whenever it's dealt damage, put 1 counter each other creature you control. This just can get out of hand very quickly. And there's good old Galta. Because X less to cast, or X or 12 power from one of the creatures you control. This is so easy to get out for 2 green mana. Period. And he's got his little arms, and he's upset, and he's a 12/12 trample, and he's scary. Marauding Raptor. Creature spells cost 1 less to cast, so now we have 4 mana reduction in this deck. And whenever another creature enters battlefield under your control, it deals 2 damage to it. And if it is dealt damage this way, Marauder Raptor gets 2/2/0. So in this case, we're going to ping ourselves, triggering your rage abilities, reducing their cost, and then Marauding Raptor gets bigger. Odapek Huntmaster, dinosaur spells cost 1 less to cast, number 5 in reduction here. And target dinosaur gains haste until the turn. So use him to get somebody else haste. Maybe Gishath got killed and came back into the battlefield and costed more. Get an Odapek Huntmaster, give him haste, and swing in. Rampaging Ferocidon, Menace. Players can't gain life, which I do have some of it in this deck, but I'm not going to rely on that. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. Great. I'm putting creatures in play. Everybody's putting creatures in play, so we're going to ping everybody. So that works out great. And Polyraptor, of course. We've seen what happens with this. Whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create a token that's a copy of Polyraptor, so you can get definitely infinite Polyraptors. Raging Swordtooth. When it enters the battlefield, does 1 damage to each other creature, so Raging Swordtooth could deal Polyraptor. It's already a trample as well. Temple Altasaur. If a source would deal damage to another dinosaur you control, prevent all but 1 of that damage. So if we Blasphemous Act ourselves or anything else, any other source is going to deal damage, we still are good. Quartzwood Crasher, I added this not too long ago. It's a 6/6 for 4/5. It's got trample, it's already good, but whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deal combat damage to a player, you create an XX green dinosaur token with trample where X is amount of damage those creatures dealt to that player. So you could be creating this massive creature. Even if just Gishath happens, you could get 7/14 creature, 14/14. So he's nasty. Charging Tuscadon, trample for 4/4 on 5 mana, and it would deal combat damage to the player, deals double that damage to the player instead. So you get 8 damage on this. And then one of our last creatures, I believe, it's a human, not a dinosaur, but when it attacks, it becomes a copy of another target non-legendary attacking creature on the turn. There's tons of dinosaurs in here that we will turn this into and just go crazy with. Ornery Dilithosaur, Death Touch, 2/2 for 4. And when it attacks, if you control a creature with power of 4 or greater, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. We don't even care if that happens. We have the Death Touch ability, and we're going to use this to make sure we set up blocks with it and deal with the problem creatures. Fertile Death Spitter deals, when it's dealt damage, deals 2 damage to target opponent. So we'll ping this to go, shock someone. And that's the last of our creatures. Now let's get into the lands. There's a good chunk of lands in here. There's enough in here to deal with all the problems we have. So we have Scattered Groves, a cycle land. Temple of the False God. I don't use these a lot in decks anymore, but I do like it in this one, being that 2 colors mana. Because we're going to get 5 lands easy. Sun Petal Grove. Rugged Highlands, give us a little life. Grave Pelt Refuge, again, another ping of life. Haunted Fengraf, being able to return a creature at random from our graveyard to your hand. Generally, when dinosaurs die and it's random, we'll put the mana into this and we'll get whatever it is. It's all going to be good utilities for the deck. Crowsand Verge, I really like this. I never use this as much in decks, but I definitely like this now. Colorless mana or being able to search library for forest and plains. It's great. Looming Spires, being able to get +1/+1 and first strike. That little bit can be enough. Tranquil Thicket for the cycling ability and drawing. +1/+1 on creature is always good. Windscarred Crag gives us a life. Excuse me. Kessig Wolf Run ends games, period. Put all your mana into it and watch everything go crazy. Desert of the True, again, we're using that for cycling. Sajiri's Step, and being able to gain protection from a color of our choice. Like a lot of people don't use this, but I think it can be great. So if maybe Gishath's the only creature on the battlefield and I'm going against a blue player, I'll name blue, and then I'm going to guarantee myself Gishath's ability will trigger. Desert of the Indomitable, again, in there for cycling. Jungle Shrine is perfect. It goes with the theme. It gives us one of any of the colors we need. Rogue's Passage. I know people are taking these out of their commander decks, but for 4 mana, and I can guarantee Gishath's ability will go off, I'm doing it. I'm going to make this happen. Blossoming Sands, another life gain land. And there's Battlefield Tap with Sandstone Bridge. I get +1/+1 in Vigilance. Sometimes those little abilities like that are amazing in the deck. Rootbound Crag. Teetering Peaks, getting that +2/+0. And then into our basic lands, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4 plains, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forests. We don't need a lot of the basic lands because we got so many other utility lands that work out great. So that was my take on Gishath, the Sun's Avatar. And I thank you guys for stopping by and watching this video with us. If you liked the content, give us a thumbs up and like. Subscribe to the video to the channel for more content. We do deck techs, we open boxes, we have TikTok. There's a lot of stuff down in the description that you can look at as well. And we thank you again for coming by and watching this with us. So you all have a great day.